Hello and welcome to this special edition of the Hockey House. You may know us on the popular hockey website, thehockeyhouse.net. I'm Stephen Ellis.
And I'm grabbing the screen, taking it back, saying we're both wearing hats. We are both wearing hats.
We are. What's your name?
I think it's Brendan Saunders.
All right. Hello, Brendan Saunders.
Yeah.
This is an episode we've both been looking forward to.
It's true.
It is the episode we talk about the World Junior A Challenge.
Yay!
Actually, no, not really.
Oh.
By the time you all see this, it will be the championship game. So
That's
good luck
true.
to everyone playing. I'm going to go with Canada West versus, going to say Russia.
No, not USA.
Not USA. I'm going to go for Russia for this one.
Yeah, take that USA, you bunch of egg-stealing mama's boys.
All right.
You're probably all half Canadian.
We're here to talk about the World Juniors, and it's a tournament that everyone in Canada loves. You know, I'm a big Stanley Cup fan, but we're not going to talk about the Stanley Cup until the next episode. But we are talking about the World Juniors today. Brendan, let's start off with Finland and Sweden, two teams that could easily win this tournament. We saw Finland win it last year, and we see Sweden's always a favorite until they went last year and got absolutely just demolished by the Americans in the bronze medal game. What are your thoughts? Let's start with Sweden first.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on their team?
Well, Sweden does have a strong team, especially because they have the chance. Now, there are some AHL players returning. We've seen every team has their one guy, but Sweden has Lehner, who is not only coming from the AHL, he's coming from a successful AHL stint right now.
Yep.
Is about actually the same productivity as his brother in the NHL. He is in the AHL, so about 18 points, 25 games, so he's quite good.
For a rookie, too, which is really impressive.
For an 18-year-old. Stepping into a pro league where he's playing guys who are 20 years older, then he could be playing his dad. And his dad might just say, yeah, I'm out of retirement, just going to play in the Rochester Mariners. But him and also Oliver Killington. But also they have a couple guys. They have a guy named Dahlstrom, who I like quite a bit on Madison Hat Tigers. I know everyone's like, it's Dahlstrom, John Dahlstrom, the Chicago Blackhawks. But yes, exactly. Yes, Sweden, yes. They have a couple guys that like. I know Jens Luca, I had said I did like from the Phoenix draft. They had a strong draft 2015, which included Dahlstrom. But I am a fan of Jens Luca.
They are. What's interesting, we'll talk about Canada a little later, but both Nolan Patrick and then Timothy Lemizhin, the other Swedish defenseman.
Yeah, half American.
But both of those guys aren't in this tournament. So Sweden, they must be pretty confident in their defense, especially with guys like Killington on there.
Yeah, no, and
Killington has not played fantastic. Remember, he was a guy who should have gone top 3 in his draft. He's fallen down immensely.
A lot, yeah. No, he has dropped a lot. And he's not doing too bad in the AHL. I think he's transitioned more to a defensive guy. And I think for Calgary, Calgary has a lot of offensive guys, so it's good to get a mix. Him and Wotherspoon, who also played in the World Juniors a couple years ago, are a good pairing to have defensively. But Killington is someone to watch out. He's coming from pro hockey, which is always a plus when you're playing junior players, guys possibly a year, possibly 2 years, possibly 3 years if you're also Sweden, because they do have Rasmus Dahlin, who's born in 2000. I know everyone's like, oh, I can't wait for the 2000s. Ryan Merkley, Luke Burzon, Brendan Saunders. I wish. But no, yeah, they have a 2000 on their defense too. So they do have a couple guys. I know they have both Carlsons, not related, but they have the one who's the Columbus first-round pick. They have Lucas Carlson, who I enjoyed watching. He's a Washington Capitals pick, but I did like him as well.
I don't want to talk about Finland.
No.
Finland's a team that won the championship last year. They had a really bad Ivan Olenka tournament, but they went out and won the under-18s
so
also.
Canada.
They won pretty much everything last year. They did everything that Canada did in 2015.
Yeah.
And we've got some really good players on there. They got Vinny Vehorlainen, who is a goalie who played outstanding at the 2015 under-18s. But their big focus this year is on their draft picks.
Yeah.
Their most coming draft picks, because you will not see the guys who scored all the goals last year, Sebastian Aho, Patrick Laine, and Jesse Pulsbury. But you'll see guys like Petrus Pelmu, who I believe he has been drafted to.
Yeah. Petrus Pelmu with the Owen Sound attack?
Yes.
He's actually not. If your guys are looking for a good guy to get drafted now, he's short. He's about 5'7". This guy's ripping up Owen Sound right now. He's a great player.
How about Eli Tolvanen from the USHL?
Yeah,
he's third top scorer right now.
Yeah, no, yeah, and he's looked for, but they have a bunch of guys.
And Christian Vesalainen?
Yeah, no, and a guy that I never get his name right, but UC Val Mackey from the Tri-City Americans. We talked about Robin Salo before, but they have a slew of guys, and it's not just their
Julius Nattinen too.
Yeah, no,
Nattinen.
Spitfire, I do like
prospect.
Nattinen quite a bit. He is a good player. But no, they have a slew of guys who are predicted to go in the first round this year. Young guys too, 98s, 99s, who are really good.
And you also can't forget some of the older guys like Olli Levy and
and Sergeyev as well. So you think their defense, the four of their defense, are supposed to go in the first round. Plus they have a guy who already went in the first round. Plus they have another guy who went in the third round, who's doing quite well for Mississauga. Plus, speaking of Mississauga connection, they have Jacob Movera, who is also a draft pick of the LA Kings.
Yeah, so they got a lot of great talented guys. You can never go wrong with picking a Scandinavian team to win, except for Denmark. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk about USA and Russia. Cold War talk? Who knows? Welcome back to the special edition of the Hockey House. Brendan, we're
Yes.
going to talk about two of your favorite teams in the entire world, Denmark and Latvia.
What?
No, not really. We're actually going to talk about Russia and the United States. Let's talk about Russia first off.
Okay.
So they got a goalie, Ilya Samsonov, who is one of the better younger goalies in
First round pick?
prospect. First round draft pick, which was a little
I
surprising.
hate first round goalies. Jesus, I hate
He's
you.
a Washington Capitals prospect. Good player. I think Russia's never great at the back end. They're average always in goaltending, and they're below average in defense, and that's no different from before.
Except that 1 year with Makarov.
They're a really strong team, but do they have a lot of offensive talent?
Well, that's the thing. They do have some good guys, North American good guys. One guy I'm excited to see, and I think Leafs fans should be excited to see, is Nikita Kroslev. He's played with Sarnia Sting. He's a North American skater, so you see them bringing a couple of North American skaters just because.
Denis Gurianov?
Yeah, no, the first round pick by
Dallas.
they bring Dallas' first round pick, Philadelphia's first round pick as well. But no, they're bringing more North American skaters because it's the North American ice. But one guy I'm really excited for is the defenseman Sergei Zabrovsky of the Regina Pats. Not the Regina Pats. I know everyone who listens to a guy who drafts players, and he's like, yeah, this guy's been drafted from the Regina Pats. And I started going, it's Regina. But no, he's plus 47 in 26 games. That's great.
Well, I want to talk about
It's the only good New York Rangers prospect.
I want to talk about two offensive guys who were dominant at the World Junior A Challenge, since the World Junior Challenge is relevant right now. These guys played really well last year, and it's German Rupsov and Mikhail Maltov. Do you know much about them? I can tell you that they're both dominant last year's World Junior A Challenge. Two of the better players overall in the tournament, and two guys that I think will make the full-time move to the KHL. German Rupsov is playing with Czechia right now, but not playing much of a role. I'd like to see both those guys in the KHL next year. I think we will. So, do you know much about them?
Not more than just hearing their name once or twice around. I know that Russia does have a very good player coming in the next couple of years in Andrei Shevchikov. I know everyone's
You've mentioned him a few times.
Evgeny Shevchikov? No, it's Andrei Shevchikov, his brother, who I think will go first overall next year. So Russia does have some firepower coming up the line. But no, they do. They have a strong team every year. I mean, this year
They won the silver twice.
Yeah.
Both times were by one goal, I believe, right?
Yeah, no, they've had a couple of tight games where their goal could have gone either way if Canada didn't suck. But again, Canada, you can win all the time. But we'll talk about that later. But no, Russia has a strong team. I am excited to see a couple of the players, Nikita Kroslev, Zabrovsky, and a couple of the first-round picks by Russia. So it is exciting.
Let's talk about your favorite team. Come on, say it.
Okay, South Africa looks good. I think Oliver Killington.
United States.
What? Boo! Oh, you guys are all half Canadian. Jeremy Bracco, Logan Brown. The guy whose last name starts with Krys. Tag
Okay,
Thompson.
you have to admit the team's pretty good, though.
Well, it's okay.
Like, Jeremy Bracco is one of the best players, and I think that, they're missing some key guys. They're definitely missing guys like Kachuk and Matthews and even Eichel, but they still probably will contend for a medal. I think they'll get at least a gold or a silver.
Well, they have a good team. They have a good.
At the same time, we've said that so many times in a row.
No, yeah, and they have DeBrincat, who's doing quite well in the OHL.
He just can't get suspended right off the bat.
Yes, it's true. They have Baracco, and Clayton Keller is a high draft pick of Phoenix. Their defense. They have a lot of these guys, a lot of first-round picks, a lot of guys coming from college. Caleb Jones, Seth Jones' brother, coming from the WHL, almost a point-a-game guy. But what you got to remember is USA feeds into the offensive defenseman role, which leaves a lot of space open if they're rushing up the ice and center. Like, most of their guys are high offensive guys and not known particularly for their defense. I know DeBrincat's a good two-way player, but by the way, he scores even strength goals and stuff like that. But their defense can be very deadly exploited by the fact that there are a lot of rushing defensemen. And since Brendan Carlo's not playing for the team, I can't name a defenseman who's not a rushing defenseman on that team.
I do like a guy on the team specifically who
better not be Logan Brown.
He's a forward. Jack Roslovic played really well with Austin Matthews a couple years ago at the under-18s. A tremendous player.
Yeah, he's coming from the AHL too.
Does not get a lot of attention. Yeah, he's playing with Mantle Moose.
Yeah, and also a point-a-game guy.
He's a Winnipeg prospect. That's just gonna be unfair when Winnipeg gets all the prospects.
They do have a lot of good players. 18 points, 23 games as of now. So everyone, as of now.
He's got really and they have an interesting goalie situation in Tyler Parsons, Jake Ottinger. Who's going to be a starting goalie?
Oh, I'd say, it's Ottinger's playing really, really well in college, and Parsons played really good in major junior OHL London Ice last year, won the Memorial Cup. So it's going to be hard to say because players are really good, and Parsons more adapted to great players, but Ottinger's playing really hot right now.
Yeah, see, the Americans are good at every position. I know you're not a fan of their defense.
It sucks.
You will admit at the end they were like, anyways, that's it for everybody else's talk. We're going to talk about the Team Canada when we come back from the break. Welcome back to the Hockey House. Brandon, what
Yes.
time is it?
It's party time. It's our vacation. Arms, kiss crossed. Now there is applesauce. Wait a minute. Something's rising up from the table. What is that? Oh my God, it's a tuxedo made from Team Germany? Oh no, it's Team Young. Oh, it's Canada.
So this is the only Team Canada one I own, and it's from '06. They wore this at the juniors. They wore this at the Olympics,
World
Championships. Can't find this jersey anymore. I love it.
Thread tuxedo.
Still fits me. But Brendan, I got a present for you.
Okay.
It's based off of a tuxedo jersey I'm bringing in next week.
Huh?
It is a game-used Toronto Marlies sock.
Oh my God! It's a sock just for me.
Since Christmas, people give things, and it's always people seem to get socks a lot.
It smells like balloons.
It's a game-used sock. I can't tell you anything else other than that. I don't know anything else. But there you go.
It's
You
made by
can keep it.
CCM. Ooh, look at how it stretches. Oh my
Alright.
God, what a sock! I'm keeping this.
All right, well,
Going
that-
down in the basement right
That
there.
is the purpose. Anyways, let's talk about your least favorite hockey team in the world, Team Canada.
Yes. Every year they disappoint me to great length.
Okay, well, I want you to explain why.
Okay.
3,
Okay.
2,
Okay.
1, go.
Okay. Yeah. No, they disappoint me every year. Seriously, Canada. They've got some okay players. Get me wrong.
Okay, come on. They got some pretty good players.
Yeah. No, they have some okay players. I can't go as far to say they have really good players because honestly, you don't know yet because they haven't played against some good competition. I'm excited. If
They played CIS. Less.
yes. No, I'm excited for a couple of the players, and I think if these good players play good, they have a chance to win. I'm talking about guys like Philip Myers, guys like Dylan Strome, guys like Matt Barzal, and those kind of guys. What I'm not excited for is guys like Brossois, who's an awful defenseman on Charlottetown. The guy's a minus.
Brisebois?
Yeah, Brisebois, the Vancouver prospect. That guy's holy minus 70 for his QMJHL career, and he's not the only one. Thomas Chabot. Now I know everyone's like Thomas Chabot, Ottawa. I've seen this guy play World Juniors. I've seen this guy play multiple tournaments, under 18s. I've seen him play in the NHL. I've seen him play in the QMJHL. I've played in Super Series. This guy is awful.
I will
this
agree.
guy's awful.
I will agree. I've not been impressed when I've seen him play Team
No,
Canada. We've seen him twice with the training Canada 1 year and now. A couple of good players though. They got Victor Mete.
Victor Mate's good.
He got a much more prospect. I don't think he's going to make the team necessarily, but we'll see about that one. Mitch Stevens returning back. Dylan Strome. Wow, what a big improvement there.
Dylan Strome is a good addition. Yeah.
They're going to score, unlike they wouldn't be scoring without him. Michael McLeod, a guy we both like, but I don't know if he's going to make the team necessarily. He's a good guy you put in the fourth line, or even the 13 forward. You slot him in to be a fast, energy guy. I don't know how he will fit in the team though, because it is a lot of very similar players on this team. Nick Merkley, a guy,
Yeah, Nick Merkley. The problem is I have with Michael McLeod, and the guys I have a problem with Nick Merkley. Now, I like Nick Merkley. I've praised him pretty much since he entered the league back in 2014, the WHL. Guy is as cold as ice. Really, the guy is having a terrible season. He has 16 points in 21 games, and for his standards, that is very. And even guys
for a guy who was a first-round draft pick.
No, yeah, for sure. And this is the problem I have with Team Canada. A lot of guys are going, well, Brendan, who are these guys you're talking to? Who's Chaz Rentekop? Who's Vincent Lalonde? Who's Connor Timmins? Who's Evan Fiala? Who's Josh Anderson? Who are these guys? And I'll tell you, who are these guys? These guys are good players that would have been picked on a Team Canada 10 years ago when Canada wasn't afraid because they were riding a hot hand, they were winning, they picked just good players. But now, since they're not as good and they have no confidence and they're walking around going, I don't know they're going to win. Let's just pick every first-round pick we can because that way if we lose, we can tell everyone, well, yeah, we picked all the first-round picks. What else could we do? And for most people, except for us, they'll go, oh, yeah, well, they picked all the first-round picks. What else do they do? Well, they're not talking to Brendan Saunders, who knows more about junior hockey than anyone in the whole world. And I'm telling you right now, when you don't pick hot players, you end up losing. And that happened with Brendan Perlini last year. That happened with Jake Virtanen last year. That's happened with players multiple.
Okay, Virtanen was a guy that should have done well and
he did, but
played poor.
He was only playing 8 minutes a night in Vancouver, and I know we talked about it in depth last year about has he played enough to really enter a tournament as a big-time guy, and it proved he had not played enough to be a big, even if it's the NHL, you're not playing, you're not going to be an impact guy because you really have not got the practice you need to be a good player. Now, Mike McLeod is a good player, he's fast, but when you're talking about guys in the OHL that did not make the team, Adam Masterton's got 49 points in 29 games.
He can make it next year.
No, he can, yeah. Cliff Poo, 47 points already in the league. You're talking about Maxime Forte.
Cliff Poo's a guy that, should easily be there.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like Cliff Poo, Adam Masterton, Maxime Forte. Even a guy, one of our colleagues, Curtis Morrison, had talked about Devin Sideroff, and he talked about him 2 years ago before anybody knew him. He's doing great this year. He's the top scorer on the Kamloops Blazers, plus 21, 32 points in 30 games. I know everyone's like, well, Brendan, you're harping on Mike McLeod. He's got 28 points in 26 games. Devin Sideroff's playing really hot right now. Mike McLeod's fast. But when you're picking players, and even Pierre-Luc Dubois, who I've liked pretty much since he stepped in the QMJHL, is having a slow season. 18 points in 20 games. When you're talking about guys like Forte, who's top scorer, you're talking about Pooh, you're talking about Madam Askerton, you're talking about Vincent Lawn, who's doing great in Victoriaville, you're talking about all these great defensive defensemen. Where are these guys?
Well, okay, we've talked about the forwards. I want to talk about the goaltending because that's one where I got a guy who I really like, watched him play a lot with the Georgetown Raiders, now plays with the Side Attack, Michael McNiven. He's a good player.
We've seen his family.
Really, we've seen him play.
We sat behind his family once.
I and actually producer Sam have seen him play for Team Canada, and he has an unbelievable, or sorry, not Team Canada, Montreal Canadiens. Yeah, unbelievable glove hand. Just tremendous goalie. Came out of nowhere, though. It was a really quick rise. And then they got Carter Hart, a guy you've been talking about for years.
Yeah.
And they got Jacob Ingham, Connor Ingham. How good is this goaltending trio?
No, I think the goalies are okay.
Do you think this is the position they got right?
You know, it's hard to say because I want to say they got it right, but I was also the one who said, oh, Jordan Subban, he's going to do good, right? He's the best goalie in the OHL. I said Malcolm Subban, yeah, Jordan Subban's a defenseman. No, Malcolm Subban, and I said Mackenzie Blackwood, he should do well. Aiden Hill was going to do well, but they never picked him on the team. And, you know, Carter Hart is hard to say, and I know everyone's going to be like, oh, well, it reminds you of Carey Price. And I say, he does remind me of Carey Price, but he reminds me of Carey Price in a not-so-good way, that he's a good goalie. But in the playoffs, Everett got ousted pretty fast, and in the summer camp, he did not play very well. Now Carter Hart's a different guy.
Wait, did you just make Carey Price a good goalie?
No, I said in parts Carey Price will play fine, but then when it gets farther in, boom, damn, dynamite. I'm hoping Carter Hart's Carter Hart, Carey Price. So I'm hoping Carter Hart bounces back in a big way and is a really good goalie. Ingram, we've talked about on the show before, is having a really successful season on the Blazers.
The other one.
Yeah.
We thought the Steelers one. That's the,
but no, Ingram he was actually our player of the week 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
But he was a good player. Michael McNiven, we talked about since he was pretty much in the Halton Hurricane system back in AAA when he played that good Oakville Rangers team. But you know, the goalies, they don't. The only other goalie I would have brought was Griffin Outhouse. Who's quite a good goalie on Victoria. Now Victoria, Chaz Rent-A-Cop. I'm a big fan of Victoria. Marcus Phillips.
Pooh didn't make the team.
I know, Outhouse, Cliff Pooh. There's a certain guy in Quebec. I'm not going to mention his last name because I don't know if I can. I think our show might be canceled if it did. But I can't believe he shouldn't have made the team. So, but no, I would have brought 4 goalies just because you got more competition. But if they do want to bring all 3 goalies, I understand, and I think it's a good idea if they do bring 3 goalies. But I think they can still win. I think Canada definitely has a chance to win. All the teams we talked about are beatable. Finland plays the box. Beat the box by dumping it and chasing it, hitting them. Sweden's a weak team. USA sucks. And Russia you can beat too.
All right, that is Brendan's annual Team Canada rant. Anyways, we're going to break. We come back, our final segment, we're going to talk about who we should watch out for. Welcome back to the Hockey House. Now, Brendan, this is going to be similar to our CHL roundup, except I'm actually going to say something this time.
What? Huh?
And it's going to be 6 players we need to watch out for at the World Juniors. 3 from him, 3 from me. Brendan, go.
Okay, so my 3 players. My first player is a player you probably heard of. Actually, Steve, you probably heard a lot from him. So he's Montreal's first-round pick, Noah Juleson. Yeah, Noah Juleson I pretty much liked ever since he played his second season in Everett. Had 52 points that season. He's doing really, really well this season. He's Everett's captain this year. He's definitely a guy I think should have made it last year, considering their defense was horrendous last year. But no, Noah Juleson's definitely the guy on Canada to watch for. Now, Latvia. I know.
Nope. My turn now.
Oh, man, come on, Latvia.
You're going to have to wait. I'm going to go with Veni Vehviläinen, the Finnish goalie. I mentioned him earlier.
Okay.
Played outstanding at the U18s. Again, Finland's goaltending cannot be just forgotten about. They are a goalie factory. He could be one of the best goalies out there. He did go undrafted twice in the NHL. But you know what? Unless there's something a lot of scouts are missing, he's a goalie that you definitely need to watch out for. He's got a lot of proof for pretty much not doing anything last year's tournament.
Okay, now from Latvia. I know everyone's like, Latvia? Huh? And I know I'm going to tell you right now, for Maple Leafs fans, Martin Zirkles. Guy plays for Randa, has 27 points in 22 games, is actually a really good player, and he's a guy that kind of went under the radar not only from a Leafs perspective and fans, because I've talked to my manager, Frank, and I'm like, hey, Frank, Martin Zirkles doing pretty good. Huh? Is that a type of mustard the Leafs put on their hot dog? No, it's Martin Zirkles for Randa. So if you're watching a player from Latvia, they have 2 players that I'm thinking of, but Martin Zirkles is definitely someone to really, really watch. Key on because he's a really good player.
Cool. I'm going to go with Alex Nylander. You know, you can't go wrong. We mentioned him. He is a former Mississauga Steelhead. He was fantastic last year's World Juniors and could potentially be better than his brother. I think it's still too early to say, but he's a guy you definitely don't want to leave alone. Sweden's going to be a good team, and I think they got some good offensive players, and he's going to be the leader. I think, actually, as a fact, he probably will be in the top 5 in scoring, maybe top 3, maybe the top scorer.
Wow, that's pretty good. He went 8th overall, so did his brother. I didn't actually know that before yesterday. But, okay, my final player is someone I talked about before on the Regina Pats. It's actually Regina. Curse you, USA. It's Sergei Zborowski. Zborowski's, like, what else can you say? Regina, you know, I know Sam Steele's on that team, and you have Austin Warren, you have Adam Brooks. But, man, Zborowski, 32 points, 26 games, is already plus 47. If he's going the same way he is, guy could be a plus 70 player. And New York doesn't have a lot of prospects. He's the guy to key on for Russia.
All right, I'm going to go with my final player being Mikhail Meltzup. Again, a third player that I've already mentioned, but for a reason. This is a guy that probably will go a little under the radar, won't be talked about much. He is a New Jersey draft pick, I believe 102nd overall in this most recent draft. Played unbelievable at the World Junior A Challenge last year. Only had 4 points in 4 games, but that wasn't his full impact. He made German Rubstoff a better player, who is a fantastic player on his own. He's a guy that seems to play well every time he puts on the Russian jersey, and he's getting better. He's playing very well in with the Russian Junior League with St. Petersburg. Russia, they may not be the top-end goal scorers. We're not seeing the best of them, maybe, but they got so many guys to work with, and he's going to be a leader. Now, Brendan, who's going to finish with the bronze medal and why?
Bronze medal, you know, I think it's going to be U.S.
Okay.
Because I think they're good enough. They have a good enough team. I still think they suck, and Canada can beat them. But Sweden and Finland, if they don't win gold, or if they're not in the gold medal game, they seem to pack it in. So I think the U.S. is going to win bronze. I want
to say my bronze.
Oh,
I am going to go with Sweden, and I think Sweden has a really strong team this year. You got fantastic players at every position. They're probably one of the best defensive core by far. Very talented team. But the problem is, you know what? Like, will their goaltending hold up? And they got a couple of good goalies. We did not talk about them before, but Gustafsson and guys like that who can win games, who have proven themselves to be good. But I just don't think they'll have what it takes to get a gold or a silver. But who is your silver?
Silver, I'm going to say Russia. I know people are like, what about Finland? You know, Russia surprises everyone. They've done it countless times. They almost beat Canada that year. They won the gold medal in 2015. Russia definitely silver.
All right, well, I'm going to go with, well, I guess if we know who's going to get, we don't know who's going to get gold at this point for either of us, but I'm going to go with my silver pick being the Team Canada. Team Canada, they want to win this tournament badly. I don't know. I think they got a strong team, but a little bit of inexperience at this tournament specifically. We don't know, again, how Canada's going to do. They bring a strong roster, and they'll struggle anyways. Who's going to be your gold medal?
Gold, I know I was saying, you know, Canada stinks. Canada does stink, and experience, I think, is too overrated. But I think Canada, I'm going to say Canada wins because I do like when Canada wins. And their good players play good. They definitely can win. If the goalies steal games, they can definitely win. We've seen it in the past. I'm going to say Canada. Don't make me mad. But I'm going to say Canada.
And you're going to hate me, and I'm going to say Denmark.
Oh.
United States of America. They're going to win this tournament.
What?
They've got a fantastic team, very strong.
Geez.
And, like, again, they're so strong in every position, even in the net. Like, they've got a chance to win every single category. I think it's going to be something like a 4-2 victory for the United States. It's going to be in Montreal, remember that. And if you get a chance, definitely go out to Toronto and watch as many of the games. You can find tickets for like $6. So World Junior is going to be fun. Anyways, that's all we have for today. Don't forget to visit thehockeyhost.net for all episodes of the TV show. Make sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Stephen Ellis.
I'm Brendan Saunders.
Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays. See you next time.